What up, everybody? This is Jay Salee, and you're tuned in to Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored.
And Melissa Ford, a.k.a. The Curve Queen.
What's up, your boy Giovanni?
Hola. So I woke up this morning, and I'm just not even, in a jovial mood. So to our listeners who are listening, yes, you are hearing post-election stress disorder coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, man, let the purge commence.
Is that what you think is going to happen?
Hey, listen, if you got beef with somebody right now, you start writing them down.
No, I think on a serious note, I don't know what happened. I feel like I'm in a relationship that I just got cheated on. I feel like the country has just betrayed me. And it's not even about pro-Hillary or anti-Donald Trump. It's just about having morals and values and beliefs and principles and things that I stand for and that I know a lot of people stand for and hold close to our heart. And I think a lot of America just got really comfortable with Barack Obama being in there and just thought we just had it in the bag and didn't go out and vote. But I feel like I just feel betrayed. I feel betrayed by the country. And it's just sad that, you one day you feel like you're connected to the rest of the country. And then you wake up one day and feel like it's a whole different America.
First of all, I feel you on the post-election stress disorder. Literally every part of my body hurts. My neck hurts, my back hurts, my head hurts. I literally was just asking our, Lisa for pain relief because my head is just throbbing. And I just had this impending feeling of doom for the last month because I really felt like I didn't want to voice my concerns. Because, it's like jinx, you give it energy by putting it out in the universe. But I legit felt like he was going to win. And it was legitimately scaring the shit out of me. As a Canadian, I had to take a backseat to this because I can't vote, So I'm just, just observing and whatnot. And I think that, for both Republicans who are upset about the fact that he won, well, you guys let him hijack your fucking party. That's number one. Democrats, really honestly, what it looks like happened from the outside looking in is that there was a conspiracy to make Hillary the Democratic nomination, and they took it from Bernie. And there's a lot of people, Bernie supporters, who were very anti-Hillary. They may be anti-Trump, but they were also anti-Hillary, and they felt like their choices were taken away from them. And so these people probably didn't go out and vote, or if they did, they probably voted alternative, Green Party or Jill Stein or Gary Johnson, or he's libertarian, sorry, and she's a Green Party. And then there's 15,000 people that went out and voted for fucking Harambe. What? I fucking can't with you, but what is wrong with you people?
And unfortunately, they're probably all our people too.
I can't.
Yeah. They were saying anybody except Donald Trump. I was watching I was watching everything last night, and I remember talking to myself inside my spirit, yo, this dude really might win. Mm-hmm. And it was a lot of neck and neck situations between him and Hillary, but it's just she could not pull strong and pull through. And I think America, you made the bed, now we got to lay in it.
Yeah, but I think that's the problem. And I think for me, I've been involved with politics for years. Before Love and Hip Hop, before Hollywood Unlocked, before this radio show, my job was to work with and lead members of a union, the largest union in the country, to get involved in things that affect their lives as working people, politics being one of those. And democracy it's a process, and it's a process that you have to be involved with. You can't sit on the sidelines and complain, or sit on the sidelines and say it should be this way or that way. You have to actively participate in it all the time. So whether you're voting to legalize marijuana, voting to put in, the new senator, shout out to Kamala Harris, who won. Yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah,
and
she did.
We worked with Kamala before in the Bay Area. She's an Oakland girl, so I'm happy for that. But democracy is something that you have to participate in. So to wake up, see the KKK rallying and happy, to see the comments online, to see the displacency of our people is just so frustrating. So I just go back to this interview I saw of Oprah where she was just what do you say in all the noise?
Right.
I don't even know what to say. But I will tell you though, now it's time to utilize all our relationships to really get active in the conversations and in the activities that are going to be happening, because it's not just about Donald Trump winning the White House. The Republicans have taken the House and the Senate. Mm-hmm. There's an open seat or two for the Supreme Court there that Donald and them get to confirm.
Yeah. Then he's also trying to Justice Scalia. He's trying to, that was Obama's nomination, and he's trying to get him off the bench.
And then you have him.
He's trying to dismantle every single piece of legislation that
he said he's going to repeal all of the executive orders or all of the bills that's been passed by Obama. He's going to repeal Marriage Equality Act, so gay marriage won't be legal. I'm sure he's going to cut some funding to education. I mean, there's just so many things that I think are going to be challenges.
Healthcare is going to go back to the drawing board. Yeah. The deal that he made with Iran, he's totally going to dismantle that. And that is one of the most dangerous things because Iran has such a huge, massive stockpile of nuclear weapons. And we've just given this motherfucker the codes to ours. I kid you not, this is a prediction that war is going to finally end up on our doorstep. And 9/11 is going to pale in comparison. And that is the scariest thing that has ever left my mouth. And I hate it and it makes me want to cry because I firmly believe in it. The other thing that just was really stressful is that is like the insidiousness of Mike Pence, his running mate. People don't understand just how dangerous that man is. He believes...
Well, he's not his running mate. He's
now the vice president, which scares the fuck out of me because he believes in things like conversion therapy. And conversion therapy is something they used to do in the 50s and the 60s where they believed that homosexuals could be turned heterosexual through electroshock therapy. It's fucking archaic and disgusting. He also believes that a woman, no matter what the circumstances are, that she should never be able to have an abortion. That includes rape. That includes molestation and incest. That is disgusting. First of all, I really have a place in, like, I really hate men that try to decide how a woman should operate her own body. Unless you have a uterus, I don't want to hear I don't want to hear what you have to say. I really, really don't. The only time a man has something to say is when it's his progeny and have a conversation with that individual. But as a governing body, you shouldn't be able to tell me what I can do with mine. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, the frustrating part about this is that it's like, no matter, like, we're talking about this right now and there's people watching and every single person watching is going to have a different perspective.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's the beautiful thing of living in a democracy where your voice should matter or does matter, where you can vote and your vote should matter, where you can participate in the process and not be afraid of being killed and other things. But the fact that people woke up this morning and have called family members to make sure that they're okay because they are a part of the class or groups that he's attacked and has said what he has said. So the dilemma that I have, because as you know, somebody reached out to me as part of Donald Trump's campaign or his cabinet or whatever, about helping them with messaging to the African American community and how we can work on programs and stuff to help develop entrepreneurs. And so the personal conflict that I have is, do I sit on the sideline or participate in my own way of having a voice in the process, or do I go in and try to be a part of it and help influence and shape whatever the inevitable is going to be to the best of my efforts?
I feel like I feel like if you're given the opportunity to do so, knowing you're going to go into it with like a measure of altruism. You're going to go into it feeling like I'm trying to do good. I'm trying to actually open these people's eyes who
to see some good in
and maybe create some, programs or maybe create an environment that does kind of negate a lot of the divisiveness that is happening. Because what's scary is that there's so many people that woke up today or just were celebrating last night and they feel like this gives them the license to be a complete and total asshole. Yeah. Like you just get to walk up to somebody and just disrespect them. Why? I mean, why? We're this is going to sound so hokey, but it's true. We're all a member of one race, the human race. I have such a difficult time understanding why people, their instinct is to hate what they don't understand or what doesn't look like them. Like that makes me curious. I'm like, I want to know more about you. Yeah. I just don't understand why it frightens me that people just feel like his win is a license to just be vicious and nasty and hatred. I saw that.
You saw it happen at a poll between a white couple and some black people voting. I don't know what transpired, but long story short, the white woman spit on this black girl and called her the N-word. And her husband was just standing there not knowing what to say or do.
Yeah, because if he had tried to do anything, we all know how that would have ended up. He would have been dead. He would have been dead.
Well, one criticism I will give to Obama, because I will say that in my lifetime, and I've only been alive 39 years, he's been the best president that I've related to in terms of economy, social issues. I think, though, he could have done a lot more for the black community in terms of really taking a hard line against police discrimination and racism. I think he missed an opportunity there. The scary part is that Donald Trump wants to support stop and frisk. And as many people know, the Supreme Court has said that was unconstitutional. And I think that this is a person who is a businessman. So he's great in business.
No political history.
And that's even debatable, but he's never had a political experience. He's never been in the army or a part of the armed forces. He's never been in office. And now he can go to nuclear war with any company. And any country. And given his temperament, I don't know that that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's just really, I just don't understand. I guess where I am right now is I don't even have like a joke in my body right now, because I just really don't understand how the country believed, taking the people aside, that he was more experienced than her at doing this job.
I don't think it was the experience that they were looking for. Everyone was just looking for radical change. I mean, there's such a huge portion of the country that was staring at a man that they didn't identify with. You know, like I'm basically saying whites staring at Obama. They just were we need to take this back. We need to see a reflection of ourselves back in power.
Make America great
exactly.
again.
So they weren't trying to, vote for a vagina. Like, seriously.
Yeah,
and the worst part is the women. The women that were just like, that were so anti-Hillary. I was like, but how can you support Trump? Like, it's maternity leave for you. It's, your reproductive rights. Like, how are these? It seems like these women are just really comfortable just being fucking Stepford wives.
Well, I definitely thought that history was going to be made again. It was times where I felt like Hillary might do it, because I felt like, they wanted to make history again with having the first female president. But once I seen that it wasn't going to happen, and then I started seeing that women was supporting Trump, I think sometimes people get scared so much they just like want to join what they're afraid of, before, just to get on the bandwagon of like, I'm a Trump supporter, so nothing's going to happen to me, so I'm good. But I was going around seeing people in neighborhoods with vote for Trump and women for Trump, and then I was looking on my Instagram timeline, it was people I knew that was voting for Trump. And I'm like, what the fuck?
It's been really interesting. I know so many different examples of friends who are no longer friends anymore, family members who don't speak to each other because of this. Like the level of divisiveness that this particular election has encouraged amongst just the country just goes so deep that I don't know what repair looks like.
Well, I'll say on my Facebook, all I posted last night was I have no words. And y'all know I love to talk. So I had no words, because what do you say? I mean, I will say that one of my friends texted me last night, said, hey, what's up? Did you vote? And he said, no, I didn't vote. LOL. This shit is crazy that he got elected. The problem
did you chew him another asshole?
I just, again, when I tell you the level of anger I had at just how I feel disconnected people are. And some would say, well, no, that's democracy. People just didn't agree with you. I don't know what would disqualify a person at this point from being able to put our future in their hands. Like, you can attack every race, religion. You could attack other countries. You can be so vile. You can disrespect women. You can be accused of sexual assault. You can file bankruptcy. You can refuse to share who you have business dealings with and releasing your taxes. You can do all of that and still have the power to launch a nuclear attack and kill everybody in our country.
Yeah,
I wanted to vote so bad.
So why didn't you?
Because I can't.
Why?
It's the incarceration.
Well,
and that's the other. And
that's sad too.
But wait,
if you are, but that goes back to the education. I know your circumstances, whatever, but if you have been arrested and if you have been in jail, you still have the right to vote if you're not on parole or probation. People need to know that their rights. And I feel like this time, having been involved with the unions for 10 years and all the campaigns and phone banking and precinct walking and monitoring polls, the unions didn't come out this year. There was no real visibility and no real enthusiasm. Beyonce coming out at the 11th hour, Jay-Z coming out at the 11th hour, Chance the Rapper leading protests, all that shit does not matter at the 11th hour.
Right.
There's just no way that I mean, Hillary's messaging on the email scandal wasn't really good. I mean, they were just saying, oh, this isn't right that the FBI is releasing it, which wasn't. But again, shit, your messaging and your momentum should have been so unbreakable that you should have been able to fight through that. And I just feel like they missed it.
What do you think about
they
his?
Totally missed it.
What do you think about his post speech?
I didn't watch it.
I couldn't.
I watched it.
I couldn't watch it.
Even
It
listen.
was very.
He was talking about unity. That's all I know. I was like, and then David Duke fucking.
He was like giving shout outs to people, having people come up, say a few words. It wasn't like President Barack Obama's speech when he won.
Listen,
wait. Can I say something? Do not look to Barack Obama as the barometer for class, because if you remember, it was just 8 years ago that we had George W. Bush in office, who was one of the most. I don't even want to say stupidest, because that's not a word.
Retarded.
He was one of the most ridiculous presidents we've ever had, ever.
Well, this is round two.
And then if you think about that, 8 years before that, we had one of the best presidents in our time, Bill the Clintons. Mm-hmm. So it's like we go in this wave, but I just feel like where we are right now in the world with Syria, with the economy, the Dow took a nosedive, 750 points. And they say it's steadily recovering, but the world and the world market was just so unsure about where the country was going.
Let me tell you what stock was
crazy.
Was up. The only stock that was up.
Guns.
Corrections Corp of America.
I'm sure
6.1 million Americans were not allowed to vote because they're either incarcerated or in geo situation where they don't know or feel like they are
don't have the right
to vote. That's 6.1 million votes
that could have made a difference.
That could have made a huge, massive difference, because it wasn't a landslide victory. It just wasn't. I don't care about the electoral college. It wasn't a landslide victory. It was. He just focused on those battleground states, and he went hard in the paint, and she just kind of glazed over shit. Like they just,
I will say that Barack Obama won the election in 2008, having been a part of that campaign, because he rode the wave of hope in the country. The country felt hopeless after the Iraq war, after the war in Afghanistan, after the depleting economy. I mean, the depleting, we had a surplus of capital in our treasury, and we lost a lot of money with the wars. That I think he rode the wave of hope, and he was able to really get on messaging as an organizer, being able to move the country that way. I think because Trump tapped into the vein of people who think that this country is fixed and our government is rigged and all that, he tapped into that vein and he rode that wave. And interestingly, looking at the numbers, he unified white people all across the board. Young white people, old white people, men, women, conservatives. He aligned them all the same way Obama was able to align the millennials. So I think I'm hoping that there's a lot of studies that happen as a result of what happened. But I hope everybody listening and everybody that we can reach is like literally looking deep within about how they may not have actively participated enough, because let me just say, I really feel like it's so unpredictable what is going to happen in the next few years. Yeah.
I have this thing wherever somebody's complaining about whatever's going on in their life or whatever. Like I just had a girlfriend come visit me, and all she did was talk about her, her now off again boyfriend and whatever else. And I was just like, it's not him, it's you. You are a participant in your own fucking misery. And we don't have anybody to blame realistically but ourselves. Anybody who went out and voted, voted for Hillary, whatever the case is, hey, listen, my hat's off to you. But the reality of the situation is that we do have a sense of apathy. We do have a sense of, who cares? Yeah. Somebody else gonna do it. I got into a Lyft today. The woman didn't even know what the outcome of the election was. And it was at 4:30 in the morning. I was leaving my girlfriend's house, and I'm talking to this woman, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm dying. And she was like, what's wrong? I was like, you don't know? And she's a black woman. So I'm like, why are you so chipper right now? And so I told her, she was like, oh my God, my skin's crawling. I was like, did you vote? She was like, well, no. And I was like, blink, blink, blank, fucking stare, man.
I will say to everybody who voted for Donald Trump, you've made your bed. Now you have to lay in it. And I will say that although they are still a part of the process, and now it's about inclusion and how, like you said, maybe I can get involved some way and be influential some way. Because I haven't even called Trayvon Martin's mom, who was real active in Hillary Clinton's campaign. I am going to call her today because I didn't want, because she was with her, and I wanted I want to call Karen Civil and talk to different people. But I also just text Omarosa because I do want to know from the inside of the Donald Trump world, what is your plan for the black community? Because the Black Lives Matter, the Dream Defenders, the work that Russell Simmons, Jamie Foxx, and everybody with the Trayvon Martin Foundation have done, they're not going to go away. If anything, this is going to give the African-American organizations the momentum they need to really organize. But if black people don't start aligning their values, their morals, their principles, like all this fucking stuff that I see online with all the violence happening, that the black on black crime, like, come on, we really have to stand for something united in a way that's going to move our culture forward. But I just will say, like, I honestly don't even have a joke about it.
I didn't see Omarosa at all.
She's there. She's there.
And if you
on that stage. And if you haven't seen her, you will see her. She now has the platform.
It was a few speckle of black people at that rally. And I was like, wow, like they're there.
But everybody that stayed home and didn't vote because you were mad or upset, fuck you. Because now we have to deal with it. And it doesn't mean that we're hopeless. It just means that we actually have to do a lot of work.
Yeah.
He definitely did say in this post speech, like, something about, man, maybe 8 years. And I said, my girl said, boy, go sit the fuck down.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my one, nugget of optimism that I felt like I could, like, I don't know, pull out of somewhere. Yeah. I don't know. I hope that this, increased level of responsibility somehow miraculously makes him a better man.
My level of optimism
That's what I hope.
My level of optimism is that I have somebody in his camp who was really seriously interested, from what I've gathered, at helping develop entrepreneurial programs for African Americans, creating programs and help to navigate Donald and his cabinet to get active. And I'm going to do my part, but as long as they understand, I'm going to stay true to what I believe. Like I believe a woman has the right to
lead the country,
to decide, to lead the country,
or to
decide,
to make decisions,
equal rights in terms of pay. Yeah. I believe that gay people, if they want to get married, I'm gay. I don't know that I want to get married, but if I did, I should have every basic right of every other human being. It's nobody else's business. So I believe, but I also believe in being an entrepreneur, and I believe in being able to have access, because the one thing this person said to me that was so true, he said, I believe in you as an entrepreneur. Everything that you've built, everything that you're working for, everything that you stand for, I believe in, but you don't have what I have, and I have access to money. And that's a problem for the African-American community. We want to be able to streamline access. That's huge. Right. But it has to come, it can't come, my values don't have a price tag. So, okay, you want to invest in me and you believe in me. Here's my values and what I believe. They're not for sale. I'm willing to come and listen to you and understand where you're coming from. And I'm interested in helping you shape policy or whatever, but I'm not going to fold. You know, it just goes back to like the skills I had at the union, where we had to foster collaboration. Like, you can't live in this world and just live in a bubble. Yeah. And I'll be lying to say that listening to and watching Donald Trump, I don't feel like he lives in a bubble. Right. Like, I feel like he's so disconnected from everybody. It's just crazy right now. Yeah. So thankfully, we didn't plan this, but God was involved with Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored, because we had a comedian scheduled for today.
Yes. Thank God. It's my ex-husband, Tony Rock.
And mine,
we got married in a movie.
Oh, I was about to say. Mind y'all, make sure you look at who your first lady is, by the way, too.
Oh yeah, you can legit Google.
Let's talk about that when Tony's in the room. Okay. So we're gonna hopefully bring some humor to this conversation. Hilarious, crazy, and the one nigga I hide from when I go to comedy shows.
Tony Rock is in the building.
What
hey,
up?
boo.
What's good? What's good?
I just told him that you're my ex-husband, and everyone looked at me like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "We did a
because
movie."
we talk about your vagina so much on the show, I didn't know that he had.
Yeah. Well, no, he had not visited it because we were in a movie together, and it wasn't a porn.
I tried to visit it. But
No, you were too busy slanging your shit all over Atlanta.
What movie was this?
It was oh shit, Three Can Play That Game. It was Three Can Play That Game. Yeah.
Wait, so you were just getting ready to out his business of slinging it to somebody who?
Oh no. He got familiar with a lot of young ladies in Atlanta while we were filming.
I was real hot that month.
Okay,
he was in Atlanta for a month filming. I was real. I was A-list.
You got broads over there.
Oh yeah.
That was a joke. That was a joke.
No, this is not a joke.
No, seriously.
Designer.
The day that the night before we were gonna be filming our wedding scene, and we had to kiss and whatnot. I was like, please, if you fuck anybody, just don't eat her pussy. please, I'm begging you.
Told him that?
Yes.
Oh, hilarious.
Fuck.
So I've been to the All Dev Digital comedy show.
Yeah, I remember
several
seeing you
times.
there. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
because they always try to sit me in the front. I'm like, I'm not fucking with y'all because I already know. He hosts the All Dev Digital comedy show, and it's just fucking hilarious. So how did that whole relationship with Russell come about? I mean, I'm sure you've known him for a while.
I've known Russell since Def Jam started. Before I was even doing stand-up, I would hang out with my brother, and my brother was a friend of Russell. So, we would go to the city and go to the Def Jam offices and hang out. I was just a little kid hanging out in the room, being a fly on the wall, soaking it all in. And then when Def Jam came back years later, when Martin was hosting it, it was ran for a few years, then it stopped. They brought it back the second time, and I had already started doing stand-up. So I kept trying to get in. I kept calling Bob Sumner, who was Russell's right-hand man at the time, like, you got to get me in, you got to get me in. And then when it came back again a third time, when Mike was hosting, I felt like the time was right. My stand-up was a caliber that I could fit in with anybody else. And Russell said, let's give him a shot. And then my boys sat behind Russell while I was taping. And when I got off stage, Russell said, that guy's going to be a star.
Yeah, what I like about, for those audiences listening, they may not know his brother Chris Rock, your connection, because you were in Good Hair too. So there's another Rock connection. So the thing I like about you hosting ADD, shout out to I do have psychological problems in ADD, for those listening. But I like the fact that you bring a New York flavor to Hollywood, because I feel like Hollywood is so pretentious, so like narcissistic and caught up in themselves, and you really be representing New York in there, because you be cussing out Bloods, Chris, and so I like that, because I feel like LA is just so dead. So it is this that Wednesday rejuvenation.
Yeah, I try to get past all of that on Wednesday. You've been Wednesday. I try to get past all that, who you are, what your status is, what you do on IG, and it's like, let's just have a comedy show.
And that's the thing I really admire about Tony, because he does the whole show. He's just improvising, fucking and vibing off the crowd. He doesn't really do set material. Yeah, like he does a whole show every week, just vibing with the artists, and that's a talent, bro. And it's hilarious.
Yeah, I like to come up with some ideas, during the week, and then that's where I work on them that Wednesday.
Gotcha.
So when I go on the road, I'm literally, you guys are guinea pigs on Wednesdays.
Man,
you don't know it,
sitting in that
but then when I
front
go
row,
on tour, it's
you fuck with me and I was in the back. Like, how the fuck you see me back
I
there?
fuck with you all the time. I fuck with you at the barbershop. I see him in the barbershop, I just go in.
But I love that, though.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Diddy when she used to be over there in Drew. They would always say, oh yeah, we got you set up right here in front. I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to go sit right back over here. So the show, so the movie that you were in, so what was that movie? Because I missed that movie.
So it was called 3 Can Play That Game. So it was like the continuation of 2 Can Play That Game. And Vivica was in that, but Morris Chestnut was not in this one.
And no Anthony Anderson either.
And no Anthony Anderson, but it was you.
Yeah.
Was the lead?
Pretty much, yeah.
I think I was number 4 on the call sheet.
That's still kind of lead. That's still kind of lead.
You look at the call sheet like, okay, I'm up top.
It was Vivica, Jason George.
Yes.
Jasmine Lewis.
Yes.
Yourself, me, and then everybody else I don't remember.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But no, that was awesome. It was like we were in Atlanta for about a month, I want to say.
Yeah, it was a month.
Atlanta was basically like our home, and they were very nice to us, as he can attest. He was just all over the fucking place. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But when me and Tony had first met, like, I fucking hated him. Like, I couldn't stand him. Do you remember where we met?
No.
We met, it was BET's, I want to say it was their 25th anniversary or something like that. And you were doing
Where they had a show.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Yeah, wait.
And you were doing correspondence on a stage, and I came up to the stage because I was one of the faces of BET at the time. And then you said some fucking sideways that shit to me.
What'd I say?
Accomplish this?
I don't remember what it was that he said.
He probably asked you if you had a Honda Accord.
It might have been something like that, or it might have had something to do with, I don't know what it had to do with, but I was just like, oh, you're the not so funny brother.
Yeah,
right.
That sounded like some Curve Queen shit.
I was just like, who the fuck?
Yeah.
I was so irritated. So then when I find out I get the role for this movie, they're like, oh, okay, so you're going to be playing, opposite Tony Rock. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
But that probably worked for screen.
No, you know what? We ended up becoming really great friends. I ended up understanding his comedy. I
love it.
Once I had to deal with it every single day.
So we need a comedic perspective on, by the time this show airs, the national elections have closed. Everybody knows Donald Trump's our president.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I think Donald Trump did a smart thing. if I can give him credit for one thing. He reached out to the demographic that he knew would get him in the White House. He reached out to poor, uneducated white people that felt like they haven't had a voice in politics for years. And I don't even think he cares about these people, but he knew, hey, if I talk to this group right here, they're going to run to the polls. They did the numbers last night, 49% increase in voting turnout from uneducated, like
white people,
white men. White men ran to the polls.
Yeah, so the motherfuckers in the Ozarks and you know, the Adirondacks and shit, like they came down from the mountain.
When Obama got elected, they was like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna learn to read, and we're gonna get, when this 8 years is up, we're gonna have the right to vote, and we're gonna change this all, but we gotta sit through Obama for 8 years because we gotta get educated, but now they have the right to vote, and they changed the world last night.
We can sit back and watch our reality TV.
And I don't think he's gonna don't think he's gonna do much to help them, but it was just, these are the people that I'm gonna talk to. The crazy thing is, when Obama ran, 99.9% of black people voted for Obama.
Yeah, they sure. They did.
Yeah,
they did.
Hillary ran, and like 50% of the women voted for her.
Yeah,
like Beyonce had more women in formation than Hillary did.
Maybe Beyonce should run for president in 4 years.
Beyonce, I love Beyonce, but she got to get her speech impediments together. No disrespect to the Queen and Beehive. I don't give a fuck about all those.
Oh my God.
Barbie armies and all those fucking fans. I'm just saying, I love her to death.
Those
but,
Barbie armies will come out.
No, because I interviewed Safari. We interviewed Safari, and those fucking Barbie people were like, "Fuck you, you're gonna go down." I'm like, "Fuck all you pink motherfuckers." I don't give a fuck about that.
That's hilarious.
And then I got a call. They were like, "If you ever want Nikki to come over, Nikki ain't coming over. Nikki ain't coming to Dash Radio right now."
No,
do you even think Donald Trump wants to be president? Or it's just like, I can do it. Or I'm rich. I just want to do. I'm bored.
It's a business thing. Like his businesses were flopping, and he drummed up this kind of like a fear campaign.
See, that's what I was saying.
The country's being taken over, and if you're black, if you're white and you have nothing, or you have very little, you feel like a nigga with a little more than you is an enemy.
Which is a lot of people.
You feel like
people think all white people are balling. There's that 1 or 3% that are out there that got the money.
There's more white people in this country on welfare than black people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a fact. Like people don't seem to realize that, but there's way more. You go up in the mountains, man. They up there.
Yeah.
So do you think Melania Trump should get her residuals from Pornhub, or is that just should she donate that to
I want to see his level of power and how he can get all her nudes taken down off the internet. I want to see if he can get that. If you Google,
he probably doesn't even care. He didn't get him
removed
before he ran.
You're right. Who gives a shit?
When you run for president, they dig up everything on you.
Everything.
That's why I was blown away that Obama won, because it's like, not blown away that he won, but like a black guy from the south side of Chicago ran for president, and they couldn't find any dirt on him.
Yeah.
Except the weed.
That's nothing though.
I know.
In this time,
that's
nothing. So I mean, that was shocking to me. Like they
couldn't find nothing on him.
Yeah.
So this Thursday, when Donald and Obama have to meet, this is the motherfucker that said that Obama wasn't American.
Yeah.
That he wasn't born in America.
He's the worst president in the history.
And now they have to sit down and have this transition of power. What do you think will be the first thing they talk about?
I think Obama's going to be classy like he always is. He's going to be gracious. He's going to be classy, and Trump's going to probably be an asshole about it. I'm sure it's going to be a few digs here and there. But Obama did his job. His 8 is up. It's like nothing he can do now.
Damn.
What you think Barack about to do right now? He's still going to be who?
He's still, what he has how much time left? He has
till January. So a couple months.
It's like January.
He's going to pardon some people. He's going to change some student loan problems. He's trying to do some things before he leaves.
And then what you think he's going to do after he leaves?
Hide.
Probably going to Hawaii to chill. Take his family and his
stars rolling up another one.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna smoke a fat one as soon as he gets to plane in Hawaii.
I mean, exactly. You gotta come to California. It's legal here in California.
That bong with the eagle on top of it.
That would be the coolest thing ever. But I mean, like California just had like a major victory in like the whole marijuana.
Yeah, I got to put some more money in that.
Exactly.
I was playing around, but now I got to put some real money into it.
Yeah, but I mean, like the angst over Donald Trump winning was so serious here in California. There was riots all over the place, all up and down the coast last night, and I mean, now there's this new hashtag secede, where California literally wants to say, okay, fuck the U.S. we want to be our own, country.
Wow.
This is so reminiscent
That's dope.
of like Canada, because at one point Quebec wanted to separate. It was the Quebec referendum, and they wanted to separate from the rest of Canada. Kind of unfortunate that Quebec is a province that's like smack dab in the middle of the country. So what happened to the Atlantic provinces?
So Tony, just so you know, she's the
Super
one
smart.
on the show who went to school and paid
No, I know,
attention
I know,
to
I
shit
know, I
that
know,
we don't
I
give
know.
a fuck about, really. But
California wants to break off and
When
become
she
its own
started doing
country,
this
dude.
shit right here,
California ain't fucking with the rest of America right now. They like, yo, we gonna crip it out over here. The rest of y'all can blood it out over there.
but at least your state got it right. I mean, your former mayor Giuliani was on stage smiling from ear to ear. They're supporting stop and frisk.
Oh yeah, New York.
Giuliani's a piece of
That's
shit.
the
They
thing I'm
booed
concerned
him.
about is like the temperature of the country now. Like it's
Yeah.
going to be like cops. How are they going to feel now? Like
Yeah.
they're going to feel like they're more empowered. How are the average white guy's going to feel when he's driving down the street and sees a black kid? Like is he going to feel
I
like
was
He's gonna feel like
just
he can
saying.
run him
How's,
over.
how's a group of drunken white boys going to feel Friday night when they're walking out of a bar and they see a black dude? Like that's the thing I'm worried about. Like they're going to feel empowered to just.
I was at
Exactly.
Really be
Starbucks.
disrespectful.
I was at Starbucks this morning and want to swing on a motherfucking line. Just I don't know. I felt some tension.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I just want an oatmeal.
you
I was
mad boy? That's what he was saying in his
Yeah,
mind.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was just asking Jason. I was like, okay, so what do you think that they thought you were?
Not them. Whether they thought I was Mexican, Puerto Rican, black,
Mulatto.
nigga, you ain't one of us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got to go
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah. Have you been checking in with your folks back in New York? Because I've been talking to a lot of my friends back in New York, and they're like, it's literally like a funeral. In New York, everyone's, in New York, we dress in black a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
But it seems like everybody is dressed in black, and it's just like people are
Shit,
calling.
North Carolina, everybody's dressed in white.
I
Oh,
heard,
yes, they
I heard
are, with
last night in
hoods
New
and
York
shit.
at a Trump acceptance rally, they were chanting
Kill Obama.
No, what was it?
Lock her up.
It was we hate Muslims, we hate
Oh, yeah.
blacks,
Oh.
we have our great country back.
Yeah. We posted that on Hollywood Unlocked.
Man,
That was
Jesus
happening.
about to come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody said these are the last days. The motherfucker got
Straight
the
up.
nuclear code, so we
Yeah.
just counting.
I was definitely saying
Okay, so
that.
yesterday I forgot during Hot Topics to bring up Melissa Ford made the front cover of Media Takeout because we cracked a joke about Colin, her friend, and they thought on Media Takeout they said that she's Colin Kaepernick's side chick. So I know you wanted to,
First,
because I know we're gonna get to talking about these hoes in LA. So we're gonna edit that out. We're gonna get to talking about these nice young women in LA.
Oh, that's what you choose to cut out? You said I wanted to punch a guy in the fucking face at Starbucks, but let's cut holes. Let's leave some women in LA.
Fuck it, we'll leave it. So did you want to talk about?
that, you know what? That's what irritates me on so many different levels. First level, one, Fred from Media Takeout is my friend. We go out to dinner, like we hang out. So how is it that this story that is so far from the fucking truth? I don't know Colin Kaepernick. We met at a party 3 years ago. We don't talk on the phone. I don't know his girlfriend. So his girlfriend didn't call me. No one has my number. How, Fred, you...
Well,
Say what you
Fred-
want to say.
Well, Fred has a job to do. That's how it got
No,
out.
no, no.
Fred is like, I got to put something out there juicy to make people,
So let me tell you,
want to see this.
I called him up. I was like, what the entire fuck?
Right.
And he was just like, well, my writer said that she was listening to your show and you said Colin Kaepernick. And he said, did she really say that? And she was like, yeah. I was like, I did not. I said, Colin, my friend,
Right.
who is not Colin Kaepernick. He's just a regular guy named fucking Colin. How she got Colin Kaepernick was just her convoluted way of thinking of me.
But if
That
you
big ass
wouldn't
word.
have called you a side chick, would you have been okay?
You do realize.
No, because listen. Do not put any notches on my bedpost that I didn't motherfucking earn. Okay,
You
that
do-
shit irritates.
You do
the-
realize there's a whole country of ugly bitches that wish they had that problem right there that you're talking about.
I do not.
Like when you're good looking, you get romantically linked to certain people.
No, that's not romantically linked. That is
Blasphemy.
that is trying to take some other woman's man. That's what they
Okay.
said about me,
Oh, okay.
and that's not okay because that's not what I'm trying to do at fucking all. Keep
Right.
your man. I don't want 10% of somebody else's fucking shit.
When she
Fuck
say
outta
fuck
here.
it, when she say the F word a lot, she's mad.
See,
Oh, really?
she handled it a lot differently than I did. That's the white girl in you. You called him up. Let's talk about it. Fred wrote a story about me about 2 weeks ago. I didn't even tell you because it had me so fucking hot. But you know what I did?
What?
What
I
did,
just-
what did he write about you?
yeah.
You know,
Oh, I'll tell you. So, I'm gay.
I did. Now I do.
Okay.
Wait, how was I supposed to know that? Like,
I
never
don't-
really knew
yeah,
that?
I don't
No,
know.
I mean,
No.
we don't hang out. So
Yeah.
of course you would know.
I just see him in passing. Like that's the dude I see.
Oh yeah,
all
no,
that sometimes.
No, I got niggas too. But listen, so what happened was
Yeah.
somebody saw Love and Hip Hop that I knew years ago, like maybe 10 something years ago, that I took a picture with.
Oh,
That
yeah.
they took the picture. So of course I was younger, but this person was younger than me. put it on media take. I was like, oh, one of Jason Lee's lovers puts him on blast or something, which wasn't true. So you know what I did? I just tweeted Fred. I was like, you punk ass bitch, don't ever talk about me. And I put his number. I was like, call him and tell him to take this shit down. So his fucking phone fans were like, his line is busy. I can't get through.
Wow.
I didn't even call him, but I was like, fuck it. He can keep the story up if he wants. I don't care. It's not true. But
well, I'm surprised he kept his phone number.
Yeah,
nah, but he must have.
If you talk about me and it's not true, I don't give a fuck.
You ever made media take out of her? What's the craziest story you heard about yourself?
Had to be a
About
media
me?
takeout.
Yeah.
Kids, probably. Like, I knocked some chick up in Cleveland or some shit like that.
Oh, that's standard for a comedian.
Yeah. Nothing crazy.
Well, I don't know. There's just, I don't like it. I wish
You can say whatever. This is how we look at it. Me and my boys, you say whatever you want to say about my friend Tony. You say whatever you want to say about my brother Tony. My brother's talking and my friend's talking. Just stand by that shit when we see you.
Yeah.
When we see you, let me be the
shit.
lame that you said I was. When I see you, let me be the punk that you said I was. Let me be the gay dude you said I was. Let me be all that when you see me.
Well, I wish I rolled as deep as you
a rapper,
did.
bro?
Shit.
Let me just because that's the way you really cut through all the bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, to tweet it and text it and all that. It get misconstrued in social media.
You were there when
and social media is giving cowards the
Yes.
ability to
Yeah.
say shit in anonymity,
Listen,
which is a coward's strongest power to be,
Anonymous.
Right.
You were there when Nelly tried to slap me. I didn't run from that, and I came right back on the radio.
Nelly slapped you?
Oh no, he
No.
didn't slap
No, he
me.
did this.
But he wanted to.
Yeah.
But and he called me Cat Daddy. I know what the fuck that was. I thought that was some kind of country mating
That was,
call.
he
or
was gonna
something.
backhand slap you. That's old man. Old man say cat daddy. The old man's like, hey, cat daddy.
I thought it was a country mating call. If his tax situation was a little different, I might have hollered. But no, it was just what I'm gonna just keep saying what I say. And one day I know I'm gonna get my ass whipped. I'm cool with that. I'm on the money team. We'll figure it out.
Like, you know what?
That's
Tamala
hilarious.
Jones, not to cut you off, Tamala Jones said hi. She gives her best regards. And we had a conversation about you. And I was
love
like,
Tamala.
We got to talking about, she was like, I love Jason. And then we got into the midst of the conversation. She was like, I don't understand why people get mad at Jason for reporting shit that they already
Because I can live out here, work in Hollywood, make money, have bad bitches, fuck niggas, and say what the fuck I want and don't care. That's why. That's why.
That was gangster.
I went one season from throwing a drink on a bitch to the next season dropping a sex tape, and I'm still out here with Floyd not giving a fuck, making money.
He didn't have a sex tape, by the way. He was talking about somebody.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
okay.
not my sex.
Okay.
Got to clear that up,
I saw
man.
Floyd last night at the Laker game.
Yeah, I wasn't invited.
Oh my God.
It was deep too. It was deep.
I feel like there's power in. Was he with Nikki?
Nikki Baby was there.
What?
I
Oh.
told you she was
You
going
don't know
down.
who that
Okay,
is? He
well,
don't know.
Hold on, you act like
hold
you-
on.
see-
He doesn't know who Nikki
Okay,
Baby is.
Nikki
Oh.
Baby is on my show. This is Melissa trying to act brand new. You were at the bank with Floyd yesterday, and I told you Nikki was coming. So yeah, we got our checks, but we didn't get Laker tickets.
You know what I call? You know what, Tony? You know what I call him? I call him Bin Laden, always blowing up somebody's fucking spot. I
the hot
can't
seat for
stand
her.
this asshole.
This is the hot seat for her.
Tony actually got somebody's rent paid at the comedy show. Floyd came.
Oh
in.
yeah, you remember that? Yeah.
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 What?
Floyd was at the show. Chick just kept up in the top, like yelling out, "I love you, Floyd!" Just kept going crazy. So she was like, "It's my birthday," and I'm like, "Well, are you good looking?" Because it was dark. But she was so far in the back, I couldn't see her. You good looking? I was like, "You fuck around, and get your rent paid or some shit like that." And Floyd was like, "Yeah, what's her rent?" And I was like, "Let's see what she looked like." Brought her on stage, and she was alright. She was
She's
Like a
alright.
strong
maybe
6.
6.5, yeah.
Okay.
And Floyd was like, "What's your rent?" She was like, $1,200, and he gave her $1,200. I said, "Now you know that bitch rent was not $1,200. That's just probably $300. You paid her rent for 4 months."
She's a guest at an
Yeah.
Airbnb.
Oh well, she was excited. I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm not. Okay, so let's talk about all the pussy that you get from being a comedian.
Tremendous.
Because I witnessed
tremendous
it.
amount.
I witnessed it just from being, in a movie with him. I was like, it was exhausting just to even watch it. Nothing was going on for me, like usual.
So have you fucked any celebrity women that we could talk about today?
Yes.
No, I don't really.
Heh.
Celebrity women
Lies.
is like who's a celebrity? Who did I fuck this a celebrity?
Raven Simone,
No.
Stacey Dash.
I would fuck Stacey Dash, but I haven't.
Now?
Yeah, I'd fuck her.
Okay.
Oh my
Lock-
God,
lock-
where has she been this whole
Yeah.
election?
Somewhere with
Under
Omarosa.
Rosa.
She laying low. She's people are mad.
Patrick?
They mad at Trump. They mad at her too.
Wow,
She's laying low.
I feel like she's gonna have a little slot in his cabinet.
Don't go too.
I mean,
Yeah, in his cabinet.
I mean that.
Speaking of cabinets, what celebrity pussy are you hiding that you don't want to share that you had?
No, I
here?
just fuck girls, man. I
Regular
go to the
bad
club and the
chicks.
chicks that want to come to my section and drink my liquor for free. I'm gonna fuck a couple of
I
them.
don't know why I always got the vibe like you was in a serious relationship. I always got that vibe from your
You,
ground.
I don't even know him, and I don't get that.
I
As reckless as he is.
Because I don't never see him out getting ratchet like that. He be turning up, but he don't have like it be bitches at the table. But I just see him. I don't know if he be sneaking touches. I don't know.
Discretion
Nah, you
doesn't
could- yeah,
exist.
But what are you expecting him to do? Grab him by the pussy? Like, what the fuck?
That was good.
Yeah, you go to the club, you get a table, you get your section, you got your boys with you, you invite some girls over, and then you just chill. You just let them
Tony
be happy
is
to be
the
there.
guy that wears sunglasses at the club, though. That shit's hilarious.
Absolutely.
Don't like to make eye contact, huh?
Yeah, I don't like people seeing what I'm staring at. I see them looking at me, and I don't want them to know I see them looking at me. You know, I see dudes like you, Tony Rock over there. I'm
See,
like, I see you.
I used to think that was weird, but after loving hip hop and after talking to her, just like even airports, I'll wear some fucking glasses and I can see you staring dead in my face. I will keep walking. Like
And I don't want you to see me cracked in the club. I don't want people to see me like drunk and
Right.
shit. Then I gotta walk out. TMZ's out there like, look at him. He looks like he's losing it. The kid's
Right.
losing it. So
He's on his way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
So wait, Tony, do you ever have any plans of like settling down and
Yeah.
getting married?
I want to have
and-
kids and all that.
Yeah? Do you have a timeline for that?
No.
No?
Everything in God's time.
Okay. There's no woman that's like, really kind of stood out,
Oh,
tickled
yeah,
your
yeah,
fancy
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing
yeah.
in recent.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a special little someone.
It's a special someone.
Oh,
yeah.
well, hey, shout out to that special someone.
What does it take to
I
get
mean,
the
shit.
attention of Tony Rock?
The
Exactly.
attention,
Yeah.
the attention is physical. That's attention.
Okay, well, the
keep
heart,
my
the
attention
loyalty,
is-
the love. What does it take?
All men that are 100 going to tell you the physical is what make them approach.
Yeah.
The mental is what makes them stay. So if I walk up to a girl, like most guys, if they being honest with you, they'll walk up to a woman. Within 5-6 minutes of conversation, they have two trains of thought. It's either one, I could fuck with this girl, I could fuck with her, I could really fuck with her, or two, I could fuck her.
Right.
So if the interaction is between the girl and I will determine that. So you, as the female, determine what my train of thought is going to be after that. And then I'm going to go, and then I'm going to conduct myself in this way or that way.
Do you
That's
find
true.
dating in LA more difficult than women in New York?
98% of the women in Los Angeles, undateable.
Yeah.
99% of the women in Los Angeles, fuckable. That's the problem.
That's true.
That's a Tony Rock stat right there.
That is true.
98 undateable, 99 fuckable.
Okay,
Wow,
wait.
damn.
Tell me why.
Undateable?
Yes.
Okay,
because
fuckable-
I want to say I'm part of that 2% that
Fuckable's
is
easy.
very dateable.
Fuckable's easy. They're just good looking, and that's
fuckable
all,
I get.
That's all
I
they
mean,
have to
shit.
offer, and
Yeah.
boom. Undateable, not motivated, self-centered, shallow, egotistical.
Want somebody to take care of them.
Yeah, no drive, no focus, not entirely educated.
Daddy issues.
Followers, not leaders, not motivated.
On social media more than a grind.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like today. Today's the perfect day. Look on Instagram right now. If you're a chick and you still putting your ass up on Instagram today after fucking Trump won the election, you have nothing else to offer.
Right.
I really want to see that in the next break.
Go on. If any chick that got her ass on Instagram today, or even last night, go look at like 10 o'clock last night. If your ass was on Instagram last night at 10 o'clock, you got nothing else to offer
But
society.
it's true because when I moved to New York for 6 months, I had a wake up call that I had developed this fucked up sense of what beauty was. Because like I was seeing women out there with what are those little fucking boots y'all used to wear that are annoying?
Uggs?
Oh my God. Everybody had a fucking Ugg. But the beauty in women out there is so much different in terms of what people out here look for. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uggs are big out here. You're saying.
I'm not just saying the shoes. I'm just saying they were just, they had Uggs, just regular. They weren't wearing Louboutins and driving a fucking.
Because you
Right.
can't. Because in New York you got to walk a lot, and there's no
That is
way
true.
that you could wear those goddamn. Oh, you know what my designer shoe collection looks like. You've seen that shit.
Floyd,
It's-
I mean, as much as Floyd is attitude, of
okay,
course.
listen, whatever. Okay,
These are very humble today, though.
Did he call your shoes humble?
go fuck
Nice.
yourself.
I'm just
nice.
saying that's not the normal
That was shade.
Curve Queen shoe. Like Louboutin, Gucci, Red Bottom. These look like some nice cold Steve
That
Maddens.
motherfucker said you represent Payless.
No,
Wait, was
okay, I didn't say
that an insult?
That was an
they said
insult.
they're not Gucci?
Not.
I said they're Okay.
I just don't know where he's coming from. He
Okay,
said they're
okay.
humble
Just
shoes.
like
I'm like,
No, meaning like
Hold on.
they're not like
one day,
Okay, anyways.
one day, Melissa came to the show wearing sweats. I said she looked real comfortable.
And she got,
How
That
dare
was-
you call me comfortable?
She hasn't looked
I had
comfortable
to
since.
squeeze this ass into these sweatpants.
I'm Miss Ford. You know I meant nothing by
I'm
that.
playing with you.
But
I'm
she gonna
playing
come
with you.
tomorrow with some goddamn red
no,
bottoms on.
listen. It depends. It depends on how I'm feeling because I need a massage. Listen, let me tell you something. But anyways, in New York, all my designer shoes stayed in their boxes. I could not walk in them because you got to walk everywhere in New York. And first of all, there is just so much shit in New York, like on the streets, dog urine, just. ew. It's just
It
nasty.
ain't that bad. Where were you at? Where were you?
I was living in the financial district. I came outside to a river of dog urine every single day. Okay, it was nasty, garbage, rats. You know, rats got vertical in New York. Like they could jump like 6
Wait,
feet
speaking
in the
of
air.
New York,
Rats the size of cats.
Speaking of New York, did you hear that a woman pushed another woman in front of the one train yesterday and killed her?
Not the first time.
Yeah,
Really?
That was probably her initiation.
That's crazy.
it happens so often. You know,
Yeah, that happens a
people.
lot.
Yeah, it happens a lot that they just don't really want to tell you. You know,
That's crazy.
because it might give
Well,
people ideas.
I used to love the subway. I don't take it anymore because I love the hip hop shit. All our fans are on that motherfucker and they are crazy as fuck. They want to talk about Ra Ali and Remy Ma. I'm like, I don't even know those motherfuckers like that.
Oh, Roz the homie.
No, she just sent me her number yesterday because we both got mutual bitches we don't like. So
Wait, uh-oh.
Let's have this bitch together.
I may have to transition to another city after the next season. So Melissa, you were going to talk about the movie that Tony just wrapped.
Okay, so you just wrapped a movie called Couples Night.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was with Reagan Gomez, Preston, and Malik. What's his last name?
Charles Malik.
Charles Malik.
Okay. And Denise Boutte, Clifton Powell. And
I love Clifton Powell.
Oh,
he's
super
awesome.
Funny. Super funny.
He's everybody's uncle.
That dude is amped up, man.
He
6
has
in the
so
morning, all
much
set, like,
energy.
yeah, what's up, brother? I'm like, man, you got to bring it. I just left the club 2 hours ago, man. You got to bring it down. So, Madeline Woods made a guest appearance in the movie. Remember, Girl, You Got the Goods, like Madeline Woods? She was on BET years ago.
Shit, I'm only
She used
30.
to host a show on BET years ago. She was in a Tribe Called Quest song. She was in a famous Tribe Called Quest. Well, anyway, yeah, Couples Night. It's about a couple that moves from Wisconsin to DC. They're kind of square, and they meet their crazy next door neighbors, and they create this like group night of just the couples hanging out. And then the crazy couple gets the square couple to kind of, live their dreams, and it kind of turns them into them.
Okay.
And then the comedy ensues, and we shot in DC.
So I'm assuming that you're the square married couple?
No, I'm crazy couple.
Okay. I would have liked to have seen you play a square.
Those movies do well.
Yeah.
I like those type of movies.
You're part of the crazy couple. Okay, so who plays your wife?
Denise Boutte.
Denise Boutte.
From
okay.
Why Did I Get Married? She was the one that
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
that he made Jill Scott take the train.
Oh,
and made her,
that's the
yeah,
bad
yeah,
one.
Yeah, the bad one. She played my wife.
That's
Yeah.
jacked up. How was that?
It was great. It was great, man.
Better than Miss Four?
Nobody's better than
Hey.
Miss Ford.
Hey,
Come on.
how about
Don't
that?
create controversy
Nobody's
between him and somebody he has to promote
I
an
sorry.
actor's
I
I
film
gotta dress
with.
up like a cowboy and have sex with her in the movie.
Oh, shit. I'm
Just be like Safari on Love and Hip Hop and say both of them.
Both of them, right?
Both of them.
Yeah.
When does that come out?
It'll be out 2017. I think it's going straight to Netflix, but it was great.
Hey, I just did a Netflix movie myself.
Oh, yeah?
It's all right. I'm be the best
Yeah.
one
Yeah, it was-
sometimes.
But it's
dope.
interesting because television is moving it online. So you got Hulu, Netflix. You have a lot of these. I mean, even the deal that we're doing right now. I mean, there's conversations about how we do it. Move it to Netflix. So that's
Nice.
huge.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and so tell me about the warm up.
The warm up is I lucked up into that, man. Sometimes a gig just falls in your lap. You know what I'm saying? So I did a show.
Sounds like Melissa's dating life.
I did a show about
Yes.
4 years ago for NBA TV. It was Chris Webber, and we were picking the best basketball players at every position. And Chris Webber's people reached out to my sister, who went to college with one of the girls that was working with Chris, and she was like, "Yeah, Tony knows a lot about basketball," and they had me on. And it was real funny and free flowing. And my sister just kept sending the young lady Olivia a email like every 6 months. She'd like, "Hey, Tony's busy doing this, but if you guys got anything, let us know." 4 years later, they develop a show. They're trying to increase the NBA's web presence, the social media presence. So they created a show talking about the pop culture of basketball, like who has the hottest sneaker, the best jersey, or the dunk of the week, or stuff like that. Just the stuff you talk about
With your
about
boys.
basketball in the barbershop. So I was in Houston. They flew me to Atlanta for the to pair people up, the auditions, and they paired me up with the guy Ro Parrish out of Dallas. And we just had instant chemistry. We were talking about basketball and hip hop and all that stuff. And then they paired me up with a bunch of other people. They paired me up with Skylar Diggins. They paired me up with somebody else.
Oh, shoot.
And then I left, and they called my sister like, "Yo, we want Tony."
Oh, that's dope.
So now my agents got to get involved, and they were like, "Well, Tony has tour dates. I got tour dates until like June of 2017 already." So they were like, "Well, if we double the money, can we get him?" And I'm like, "Okay, let's boom." So every Thursday I fly to Atlanta. We shoot that show. It's a half hour before Inside the NBA with Steve and Shaq and Kenny, those guys. We are the lead in for that show.
That's
on
dope.
the NBA TV Twitter feed, NBATV.com. It's called The Warm Up. So I fly to Atlanta on
Every
Thursday.
week.
I fly out Friday and go on the road, do my Friday, Saturday, Sunday on the road, fly back to LA for All Def on Wednesday, fly back to Atlanta for the warm-up.
Bro, that's the life right there.
Man.
You're working.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to ask about ADD because I know they shot an HBO special.
Yeah.
Aren't they
this
working
This Saturday.
So talk about that a little bit.
This Saturday, November 12th, HBO All Def Comedy Live, executive produced by Russell Simmons, hosted by Tony Rock. We got Zainab Johnson, Tony Roberts, Robert Powell, CP, and Kevin Tate on the first show. It's an hour special where Def Jam was a half hour. This is an hour special. So we feel very strongly about the pickup. So new episodes will be coming in 2017.
So this is basically All Def comedy is coming back.
It's the show you see on Wednesdays.
Yeah. But it was
As
bigger
a special,
though, right?
yeah. But now it's just Russell's imprint is now All Def instead of Def Jam.
Right,
so it's
right.
the same thing. It's the same blueprint, same format.
Nice. Come out and still
we
say
gonna
thank you for coming out.
Yeah,
God
he came
bless,
out. He
good
came
night.
out. Yeah, it was amazing.
Hey, that's
when
legendary
you see
stuff.
you see the smile on my face when he comes out to do that, because it's been a dream of mine to host that.
To hear that.
So when Russell comes out and says God bless and good night, watch the smile on my face.
Oh,
It's like
okay, right.
I'm 10 years old again, like just like holy shit.
We all
I
grew
did
up
it.
hearing that, man.
I did it. Like it's
I was
real dope.
I was watching some Instagram clips come up of the Queens of Comedy. Like I want to see Monique come back. Do you think Monique's kind of fallen off since she's become this Hollywood actress? Because I mean,
She has that new movie out right now called Almost Christmas.
Almost Christmas, yeah.
And
it looks
she-
hilarious.
David Talbot.
Yeah.
David Talbot film,
but
yeah.
I mean, when she used to talk about skinny bitches, that was a whole different Monique.
Well,
Yeah.
she a skinny
Yeah,
woman
yeah.
now, but for health
not really
reasons.
skinny.
Well, she
But
lost
see,
a
the
lot
thing
of
was,
weight.
a lot of comics they start they transition into movies and TV and then they leave stand up alone. Stand up's the type of thing you can't stop doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then think you can just jump back on and look at Martin. Martin's not the same Martin.
No.
Like
Chris
I see
Tucker
the show,
isn't.
it's like that's not Martin that
And I think
that
that's
knew.
and I think that's
Chris
why Kevin
Tucker's
Hart
special was very depressing.
Yeah, me too.
Because
I
you can't
agree.
stop doing stand up for that many years and think you can just pick it right back up.
And that's why I think Kevin Hart is so relevant too, because he does
Yeah.
stay on going on tour and continuing to grow his brand
Yeah.
and reaching his audience. Because
Even
once
my brother never stops doing stand up. He doesn't
Yeah.
like you won't see a special, but you go to New York, he's in the club on stage.
Let me ask you something. I seen because I talk about this with a lot of my comedic friends, man. What do you feel about? I think Eddie Murphy said it's going to take him about 2 years to get back on stage.
I could write Eddie Murphy's hour this weekend if he wanted me to. I could help him write it this weekend because all Eddie Murphy has to do is just talk about, boom, come on stage, first 15, 20 minutes, how big he was.
Mm-hmm.
Next 20, how life has changed for him since how big he was. Kids now, the internet, social media, divorce, now got a wife, 9 kids, all that.
Johnny Gill.
All that. And end it with, this is the big closer. The big
Isn't it
closer,
hard?
he can end it with that story about the transvestite.
transvestite.
Yeah.
He has to end it with that story. He can say, he was so big that whatever happened, and
You think he still got that?
he could say something
timing?
like he would have had to kill her because he would have had to keep it on the low. He would have been OJ before OJ. So he would have had to hire Johnny Cochran first. He would have had Robert Shapiro first. They would have been like, if the shoe don't fit, you must have quit with all that stuff. He would have been in the Bronco with Arsenio driving, all of that. End it like that. Good night, everybody. I'm Eddie Murphy.
But do you think that Eddie Murphy
Wow,
really
he just
actually
really wrote
wants
that
to reclaim his former glory? 'Cause
he doesn't care to.
I don't think he does because
doesn't care.
he did this movie. Did you hear about that movie,
Mr. Church?
Mr. Church?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's like a kind of coming of age, and it's a very sentimental, kind of movie. It's a drama, and he looks like he's getting really comfortable with with maturity.
He has a legacy.
Read.
But
And
people got to keep in mind, Delirious
Yeah.
and Raw
Oh, yeah.
was 18 years old to 21 years old.
Yeah, he was a fucking kid.
He's a totally different guy
He looked
now.
like he was 30.
And
hitting
his-
them shit.
and his
That was
tax
21.
bracket.
Raw was 21 years old.
Yeah.
22 maybe.
His tax bracket is completely different too.
So it's not. There's no
There's no
incentive to really
incentive,
run
yeah.
to the stage now.
Right.
When
Yeah.
you're older, you're sitting on way more money than you could ever spend in your
Living
lifetime.
up in
Your
Beverly
kids
Park.
are doing great.
Yeah.
It's no need to I feel like I need to voice my opinion on certain topics.
So what do you think about Nene Leaks? She's left the Housewives of Atlanta and now she's a stand-up comic.
No,
and
she's not a stand-up comic.
Okay, so
Hold
listen.
on.
Okay.
She's claiming now that she's a stand-up comic, and Lunel was here.
Yeah.
I've known Lunel since I was 16, 17 years old, and she
Lunel's
let
hilarious.
her have it. What do you think about that?
Okay, there are very many people, Nene just happens to be in that same group, that are on TV, and sometimes the money slows up with what they're doing, and they go, hey, you know what? I have a personality from this TV show I was on. Now I'll do stand-up. Anthony Anderson's not a stand-up comedian. But, he was doing TV and it slowed up. Boom, I'll start doing stand-up. Then he got,
Back on the shit.
Blackish. But he's not a stand-up in the traditional sense that he started out in the comedy clubs, doing bringer shows, getting paid $5 a spot, just waiting for somebody to not show up so he could get on stage. Not in a traditional sense. Anthony Anderson, Nene Leaks, Steve-O from Jackass.
Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon's not a stand-up comic. Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of guys that have a personality from a show, and then they think, okay, well, this is an easy check. I'll go. Charlie Murphy's not a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Charlie Murphy got on telling stories about his brother on a very funny show.
Yeah.
The show ended, and it was like, how do I keep getting checks? Boom, I'll do this.
See, because I know, like, when you go to the ADD, when you get into it with the audience, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Nene just got into it with somebody in the audience. She threatened to climb up and beat her ass and just was
Because
cussing her out.
it's like she doesn't have any formal training in stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
It should never escalate to physicality.
Right.
If you're a good comic.
Yeah.
If you're a good comic, you would never even... I've had shows where people jump up and like, I'll kick your ass. And I'm like, okay, this guy's... I'm just going to keep going until you leave or the room just... I win you over.
Chris Spencer are the three best, I think, improv crowd fucking...
Thank you.
Ever, man.
Thank you.
Like, really, I mean, I'm quick on the improv, but you're quick. What's your education? Like, how do you do that, man? Like, I've seen you.
I just see everything. When I'm on stage, I can hear everything. I can see everything. It's like my radar is just everything. I can
Deadpool.
Somebody drop a drink, boom. I'm over here.
Hilarious.
I hear a girl arguing. Somebody has a problem with their check. Anything. I see somebody
It be right in
wearing
front of
something
your
funny.
face.
Yeah, it's like I just see it all. It's like
Well, thinking about the taking it back to, like, you know, if as a real stand-up comedian, you shouldn't ever have to, you know, go by the way of violence. You
Right.
know, like if somebody's antagonizing you. This is a little far back, but do you remember Michael Richards and his fucking meltdown?
Yeah, I
on
was
the
there.
sta- You were there.
I was there, yeah.
Okay.
Michael Richards, for people who don't know, because
Yeah.
it took me a second to...
Kramer.
Seinfeld. He was Kramer from
Kramer, yeah,
Seinfeld.
yeah.
And I mean, well, since you were there, like, describe to everybody what happened that night.
He tried to.
And he has a stand-up background, correct?
He has a improv background.
Okay.
He's an improv, one of the
Groundlings or something.
Groundlings,
right?
yeah. So that's what he tried to turn it into. That he tried to turn it into a performance piece. So the guy was talking. Guy was up to his upper left, and guy was talking and said something about his bill, and it was a white guy who said it. It was a white guy talking, sitting next to a black guy. He looked up, saw the black guy, and he tried to turn it into. He tried to be a character, like an angry white guy as a character, but the room didn't get it. So I'm in the back, like, I see what he's doing.
Right.
He tried to like play the old man who the ball comes on his lawn. He's like, you kids, I'll tell you something, you kid. You know, he tried to turn into that guy. The room wasn't following it. And it's like, what? They're gonna come in here, they're gonna look up there, and they're gonna be like, what's going on? It's a nigger. It's a nigger. And the room's like, hey man, what's wrong with this guy? And I'm like, oh, he's okay, I see what he's doing.
You got it.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work. I don't think he's a racist. I never thought he was racist. I've had many conversations with him several times at the Laugh Factory. It just went horribly
audience
wrong.
I have
No.
never heard that version
It went
of the
horribly
story.
wrong.
This is my first time hearing that
I've
version,
never
too.
heard it presented that
You ever
way.
see you ever
Because
see-
it went all the fucking way wrong for Michael Richards.
Yeah, you
like,
ever
it
see-
was over for him.
When Richard Pryor does the heroin addict on stage, and he literally, like, the lights come down,
Set that mood.
he sets the mood, and he does the whole thing. He ties the arm, and he's talking, yeah, baby, because you know they... And it's a performance piece. It's not stand-up. And if you're in the room and you're following it, you're like, oh, this is amazing.
I think that's the difference between the Nene Leakses and the people who aren't skilled in that lane. Like, that's
Right.
not your lane. They just want to get in it real quick for whatever reason.
But this is the thing.
And the people that are
the
professional.
The comedy club owners are to blame for this as well. Because, well, not to blame. I'm not going to say to blame. Because comedy club owners, their job is, they have one job, put asses in the seats. That's their one job. If asses are in the seats, then asses are going to buy 2 drinks and buy food and pay to get in. They don't give a comedy club owners don't give a fuck about the quality of a show. If it's asses in the seats, they don't give a fuck about nurturing a comic and the development of the craft. That they don't care that we artists. They just like, Nene's going to sell this fucking room out. I'll fucking put Nene in this room next weekend.
Has it always been that way?
Yes, it has.
Okay.
When I started doing stand-up, when I first started going on the road, I was blessed. I had the blessing to be Tracy Morgan's opening act for like 2 years.
That's
Okay.
huge.
Damn.
And I would just watch everything, how the crowd went crazy for Tracy, how Tracy developed, how he worked. It was a blessing. I was Kim Cole's opening act for maybe a summer.
I love Kim Cole.
And this was when she was on Living
Living
Single.
Single, yeah.
So the owner of the club, we in Jersey one weekend, and the owner of the club puts the flyer up, and it's from Living Single, Kim Cole's feature act, Chris Rock's brother, Tony Rock. So now people are like, hey, we'll go see Chris Rock's brother and Kim Cole's. So after the show, you know, half of the room is like, we want to get pictures with Kim Cole's. Other half of the room is like, we want to get pictures with Tony Rock. So the owner's like, okay, you know what we'll do? We'll bump this kid up to headliner and bring him back his own weekend. And then we'll get Kim a different feature to open up for her. Because now we can make money off of this guy, billed as Chris Rock's brother.
So
they didn't give a fuck that I didn't have the material at the time. I didn't have 45 minutes to an hour to do on stage. I had maybe a strong 15. 25. Oh, okay. Maybe I could stretch it to 30. Mm-hmm. But you can't when they elevate you can't say no because then you never get the opportunity again. So that's why I got good at crowd work because I had to do 10 minutes of written material, 10 minutes of crowd work, 10 minutes of written material. Close with my biggest joke. Good night, everybody. You know what I mean?
You're right.
That's why I kept developing that muscle of like being able to make anything funny.
It's a formula to this.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
But they just want to put asses in the seats. Mm-hmm. So if Nene's going to put asses in the seats and I'm a comedy club owner, fuck it.
And really quick, the new age is social media right now.
Right.
So like,
now it's if you have a million followers, I'll put you on the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know the Instagrammers, and there's a lot of new Instagrammers out there or Viners, and they're doing these videos, but they don't really understand the formula of the setup and the punch.
But this is the thing. They're learning baptism by fire. I've been on a couple of shows with a couple of the internet guys, the 15-second guys, and they've been eating it.
I mean, you look at the death of Vine. Vine is gone now. I mean, so they're losing. I mean, that was a trend. That was like something that was in for the moment. You know, comedy's been around for years.
But if you're a comedy club if you book a room or you book a show,
there was value.
And this guy has a million followers, you're thinking I'll put him on the show. You don't care if he's funny or not. And then he comes on and bombs his ass off, and then we got to go clean the mess up.
Yep. I've seen it happen.
Well, that's like, I mean, it's the same as putting somebody like, I don't want to say a Carucci, but somebody with big following. I mean, Carucci's been able to build her brand, thankfully, but there's some that just have the millions of followers. And they'll get a spread in a magazine, or they'll become a face of a brand. Which doesn't always translate to sales, though.
I see flyers that they're hosting parties, and I'm like, why should I go to a party because the girl from Black Ink is there? Like, why do I want to go there because the girl from
unless she's fine?
Yeah, if she's bad as shit, Then I'm like, it's a few of them I'm looking for, but if she's there, I'll go. Black Ink, no, Sky's the homie. Sky's my homie. I spoke to Sky yesterday.
Sky was supposed to come on our show. We need Sky on the show.
Yeah, that's my nigga.
Yeah. Well, then holler. Tell her we need her on the show.
I'll text her, let her know.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so you've got your movie coming out, and that's next year. And your brother Jordan has a pilot on Comedy Central. I mean, first of all, how many rocks are there? Like, what do you guys like? Do you guys like the new Wayans, the new and improved Wayans?
7 brothers, 2 sisters.
Damn.
Charles, Chris, Andre, Tony, Derek, Brian, Kenny, Quan, Andy, Jordan.
That sound like Bell.
You sounded like from Good Will Hunting. You sounded like, what's his name? Matt Damon.
No,
Matt Damon.
You talking about Dumb and Dumber?
No, motherfucker.
Y'all look like Dumb and Dumber right now.
No, I'm not.
Good Will Hunting, the Dumb and Dumber.
Because I remember a scene like that in the movie too. Continue.
See, this is the thing. She is half white and brings that white girl out. He's the nigga in class trying to act white and trying to figure it out. I'm just over here like, I don't know what the fuck y'all
He's the nigga
talking
that's going to win because he's light skinned.
These my black friends right here.
Okay, so we know.
Yeah, so Couples Night will be out 2017. I have a new game show on TV1 January 24th called The Game of Dating. The warm-up is on every Thursday on NBA TV. All Def Comedy Live this Saturday. Hopefully more episodes coming in the new year, and tour dates coming through 2017.
Can I just say that real quick? I do remember when I first heard of Tony Rock, it was Chris Rock's brother years ago. Yeah. But that's gone now. Like,
no, it's not gone. Every year it's a little less.
I mean, when I'm in the
airport, it's still, hey, you Chris Rock brother.
Yeah, but I think
that's not my name.
But I was just like hearing all the things that you have going on right now, and just having seen the evolution of you and your brand. Like, you're standing on your own. You're doing it. You actually have an all white weekend too.
Birthday weekend, my birthday.
Yeah, I mean, like, you branding wise, like, you doing the work.
Yeah, we putting some.
And your toy drive for like around Christmas.
Every Christmas we do. My foundation is Rock the World. My Rock Foundation. We raise awareness about diabetes. We get toys for kids that have diabetes.
It'd be lit too.
Yeah, it's you've been to a few.
I've been once.
Oh yeah,
you
came to the white party.
I didn't get in.
You moved it to Malibu. Niggas can't go out there.
I didn't get in, bro. I got your number now.
It was a good one. Yes, but my baby brother, the youngest, the last of the Mohicans, Jordan. My favorite comedian in the world right now is Jordan Rock.
Oh, wow.
My little brother has been putting work in New York City for years. He graduated high school on a Friday. That Monday, he was in New York trying to get into the comedy clubs. He kept begging me to take him on the road. I said, no, you got to take your lumps. I can't do any favors for you just yet.
That's deep.
You got to take your lumps like I had to take my lumps. Mm-hmm. So he just stayed in New York, grinding, working hard, putting work in. This kid is super talented. In the next 5 years, Jordan Rock's going to be one of the biggest comedians in the world. He has season 3 of Love on Netflix. Mm-hmm. They're shooting it right now. He has a new pilot on Comedy Central called Drunk Girl and High Guy. He's the lead. And I take him on the road with me whenever he
these
has a free
rocks out
weekend.
here
Drunk
working,
girl high
man.
guy.
Yeah.
That sounds hilarious.
Whenever he has a free weekend, I take him on the road with me. And
These
let
rocks
him
is
work.
out here working.
So,
Yeah, man.
so in your family, do all of you, the brothers, Chris, you,
I was
Jordan, do
just
you
about
all
to ask
support
that.
each other, or is it everybody has their own individual grind?
Everybody has their own individual grind with the support of everybody else.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I'm Jordan's biggest cheerleader. He's my biggest cheerleader. We both go crazy when my brother Chris does something. The new Netflix special, we can't wait to see it. We already called it. I'm like, when you going on? Where you working out at? I want to see it because I like to see it, the progression of it. I've seen all of his specials when they were, 10-minute sets, 20-minute sets, 30,
Hour.
I've seen it. So I want to see it again, just like I did, years ago.
Hey, this is good. I wish we had more time because I would love to hear how it was growing up in the rock house, man.
It's the best. It's
I
the
could
best.
believe
Well,
it.
I grew up in a crack house. I was rock, crack, get it?
Yeah, I get it.
I don't know. That's my comedic
That
relief for
was
the day.
funny. That was good. That was,
Was
good.
it?
It was good.
Okay.
It was good. It was good.
I mean, no, I'm just thinking of Pookie right
considering-
now. That was some shit. That
Yeah,
motherfucker
good
was
one.
ashy as hell.
He
Smoking
was the
that
original
crack.
Ashy Larry.
I mean, because I knew Pookie from TV, then my brother was selling drugs. So between all of that, I realized that's not the world I want to be a part of. Like, yeah. No, but it was good to be able to have you come on the show because I've
thanks
been
for
a
having
fan and I've been watching you. And like I said, I'm not afraid of a lot of people. Like, I'm on Love and Hip Hop. I can fucking survive that shit, but I cannot survive the front seat at All Def Digital. So I'm glad you came on the show.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Tony.
Thank you,
All
love.
right, we're out.
Bye.
Peace.